just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Everybody, welcome to Outside the Playbook. I'm not going to tell you to like or subscribe because if you stick around long enough, you're going to do it on your own. Dwight Howard was asked about Rudy Gobert being a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year award winner. This is what he had to say.
You want to hate this nigga, man. Greatest defenders in NBA history.
This nigga's on
3-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Let's get to this.
Only player in NBA history to win the award in 3 straight seasons. Only 3 men have won more. Those 3 men being Dikembe, Ben Wallace, and Rudy Gobert, who just won his 4th Defensive Player of the Year award this past season. So Rudy has gotten some criticism as of late for his limitations on defense. You know, everybody's been coming at him. What's your assessment of Rudy Gobert's impact on defense?
Thank you, Joe.
Great question, Joseph.
I mean, it's tough to say because, you know, I never want to say nothing negative about any players.
You got to be negative, just keep it a buck.
Are y'all gonna do the tag?
And nothing.
No.
No, I know what you're saying, but I don't think he deserved those Defensive Player of the Years like he got them. I feel like he's a great team defender, but for what he did to get those Defensive Player of the Years, I don't see it. Yeah. I don't see him being an elite defender. I see him as somebody who has the size. He's 7'2". So when you 7'2" and you playing with athletic guys, and you don't have to do nothing but clean up their mistakes or, you know, just be big in the paint. So, I mean, it's really hard to say that he is an elite defender to have 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards. Okay. But
now, Dwight Howard, all right, 3 DPOYs. Dwight Howard was a great team defensive player. But in that same sense, you can't say that Dwight Howard couldn't guard his own guy. You can't say that offenses schemed to attack Dwight Howard, all right? And you can't say that offenses said, we're going to put Dwight Howard in every single pick and roll and make him play defense on ball. Because guess what? Dwight Howard was going to control the entire game. He communicated well. He moved his feet well. One of the best athletes at his position that we've ever seen. Strong, dominant. He's going to clean up the glass, and he's going to block 3 to 4 shots every game. All right? But he's also going to be able to guard his position. We saw an old Dwight Howard dominate Nikola Jokic defensively. An old Dwight Howard. Not the guy that was in Orlando. Not the guy that was putting stickers at the top of the glass in a dunk contest. Not the Superman kick. Not that guy. An old Dwight Howard. Up and pick and rolls. Able to move his feet. He's talking. He's communicating. Calling out switches. Calling out sets. Calling out screens. All of those things. He's guarding his own position. Locking that down. And he's also in a position to block shots. Rebound. Switch. Make it tough on guys attacking the basket. I don't see that from Rudy Gobert. I don't think Rudy Gobert is the type of defender where you say, all right, we have to avoid any situation where he's involved in the play because he's such a great communicator. We have to we have to avoid switching him on ball because he's a very good on ball defender for his size. He's not like, you know, Anthony Davis, Bam Adebayo, Giannis Antetokounmpo, or even Wemby. He's not like that. He cannot move his feet well, which is a situation that he faced when they was going against Dallas in the playoffs. They had to take him off the floor. They had to put Naz Reid in. Obviously, Naz Reid is better offensively, but Naz Reid provided defensive versatility that Rudy Gobert could not provide. All right, and then you also have to think about the fact that Olympic play, you start Wemby and Rudy Gobert together, and it came down to a situation where they realized, all right, for what we're trying to do, and the teams that we're going against, Rudy Gobert is not the person we want on the court at this position. We need to take him off of the court. And they said that Wemby was at the 5 for defensive purposes. We all know how gifted he is offensively, but they said the reason they moved Wemby to the 5 is for defensive purposes. You don't take a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year award winner out of the game for defensive purposes if he is what everybody is telling us in the media that he is. And this is coming from a legitimate Defensive Player of the Year award winner and somebody who is known for playing at a high level and playing amazing defense.
I mean, he did it. I think this year was his best defensive year.
You think so? Do you think
in the regular season? Because you got to think, you got to think.
They always messing with Nick, man.
This year, he was actually up in the pick and rolls. He was moving his feet. He was talking more. He was actually being aggressive. The years before that, I think they just gave it to him because of his team defense and how everybody was on the team. So he's probably my least favorite defensive player of the year out of all the. You got to be a dominant defensive player. People got to be afraid to enter the paint. I feel like
I don't know if y'all seen it.
That's a defensive player. People got to be afraid to. You got to be a.
That Gotham jersey by Brandon Jennings is tough. I need one of those.
Dominant defensive player.
Continue.
People got to be afraid to enter the paint. I feel like that's the whole. If you are a defensive player, you got to, like, soon as you see, like if I'm seeing Kmart, I know I'm not getting by him on the pick and roll.
Now, to his point, not a lot of people have success, especially in big game moments, attacking Bam Adebayo off of the dribble and at the rim. In the playoffs, met Tatum at the rim, blocked it for game. He's guarded Steph Curry in clutch situations. He's guarded Kevin Durant in clutch situations. He switched out on the James Harden. He switched out on the Kyrie. He switched out on the Dame. He's guarded Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's guarding Nikola Jokic. He's guarding Joel Embiid. He's guarding Jason Tatum for an entire series. There's not another player in the league that you're going to say does that outside of maybe Anthony Davis. And even Anthony Davis wouldn't be assigned to guard Jason Tatum for the entirety of the series. But Anthony Davis is going to be able to control the game from a defensive standpoint and clean the glass. Giannis, he did it for entirety of a season, but he has that ability as well. Wemby, we've seen how great he was as a rookie and the impact he has on a game from a defensive standpoint. Rudy Gobert is being taken off of the floor because he's becoming a liability in a lot of situations. That doesn't scream Defensive Player of the Year. Now, this is Dwight Howard saying this. If it's coming from Shaq, he's probably hating with a little bit of truth on the side. Let me know in the comments, is Rudy Gobert a legitimate Defensive Player of the Year award winner? That's one more for the good guys.